But you've got enough people today, make it look like a organised operation. Try our best anyway. So yeah, we've got 10 boxes at the moment. So I've got a yard that's portioned off from my mum's yard, who's got 30 odd boxes. We're quite a long way from most race courses. Taunton and Exeter are 1 hour from us. So we get the benefits of being here and having the space to turn out and things. So it's works both ways. Okay, Fliss. So you're just going to go just normal, just go around the village and then go in the arena. Okay. You have to inspire him a bit. Right. All right. Okay, Jen. Yeah. All right, Vicky. It's nice to have a day off. Normally, I'm having to ride, so although I can't go inside, it'd be nice to be inside watching a bit of TV with a cup of tea. That'll do, Fliss. Whoa up. Do you want to go? Yeah, if you go in front, Fliss, single file. They can go like a. There's no point in hacking. Like they can go at nice speed. They can go gallop. So we've got Jupiter Allen in front. Yeah, Uncle Phil in second. Great Dance in third, and a Fire Stream in fourth. It's been a lot harder than I thought, actually, and that's having it gone with the horses running well. It's really hard. I've learned so much since I started training myself, and actually, it's funny I've been telling my parents for probably the last 20 years, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and actually when it's your name on the licence, it's all a very different kettle of fish. It's easy being an arrogant number 2 and telling the number 1 how it should be done, and you see things from a very different perspective when you're in the driving seat. And that's been fascinating. I think I've learned more in the last 6 months training myself than I would have done in 5 years as an assistant or a joint licence holder.
And it's the Williams pair now. Jane and Chester at the last. Arthur Celtic just in front to Horseboy. And it's Harry Cobden, 4 more on Horseboy. And a dream start to Chester Williams as a trainer.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've been much better than I ever could have imagined. Yeah, the first day having two winners, I definitely didn't appreciate how lucky I was to have a double. Everyone else told me, but yeah, I didn't appreciate it at the time. No, it was. I suppose it was all a bit of a blur. It was because they were actually consecutive races as well, so it was all fairly frantic. I didn't have time to enjoy the first one. Didn't even get to the winning connections to get some champagne. Thankfully, did after the second, and then had a few glasses of champagne that night. And then obviously Tontula 2 winning at Chep. So yeah, I never dreamed that I'd have a graded winner in the first year. I sort of looked around and I didn't think there was a horse here that could win a graded race, and clearly I was wrong. So shows what I know.
And it is the little filly, Tontella 2, comes towards the last, skips over it, and racing up towards the line. Chester Williams, a big winner here. Gavin Sheehan in the saddle. It is Tontella 2 who wins.
I've tried to see things a bit differently to what I've seen before, and actually to know that it's paying off and you're doing a good job for the owners and everything is really rewarding. She's not quite up for the triumph yet now. So the Fredwinds, she's got a mile to get into that race, and Fredwinds will be a very different master, and she will go straight there. And to have a horse in the first season even good enough to have a vaguely live chance to Cheltenham is a massive privilege. And like almost ride them, so like you're tipping away until 3 strides away, and almost I want them to quicken into it. I know it's pretty bloody hard on this, but if they could just extend in the last, I'd rather they went slower and then extended in the last 3 strides and sort of attack them than not. So I'm every jockey's worst nightmare. a jockey that's now training and always has an idea of how to do it much better than the jockeys themselves. So it's nice to tell, I like to get involved and tell them exactly what to do. Yeah, the beauty of modern technology is you're always able to film, but then it does become an expectation. So you think you're doing, but actually now once every trainer's doing it, you need to keep it up to be level with everyone else. Training has always been much more fulfilling when you see a horse winning that you've been involved in training. I mean, I've been involved in my sort of parents' business and the training for a long time. So I've always found the training sort of, and it's sort of a more interesting subject. And when you ride a winner, you might have thought about it from the night before. When you've trained the winner, you might have been thinking about the horse for the last 2 years. So it's like apples and oranges, really. Yeah, I'm sort of a student of the sport, I suppose. I have been from a young age, and actually, looking at what other trainers do, and you're constantly learning. I've worked and ridden out for Paul Nicholls and worked for Guillaume Miquel, the champion trainer in France at the time, for a summer. I worked for Kim Bailey for a year as a conditional jockey. Every day you sort of try new things, and I'm always trying to learn and always asking questions and seeing how other people do things. And in a year's time, I'll probably think what I was doing today was all wrong, and I'll try and do something different. So it's so important to have your ears open, your eyes open, and try and pick up what you can, and again, find what works for you. Pleased with the 2 jump there.
Yeah, they were faultless, really.
The chase, like the one you were riding, Woody, like he would jump fences, I think, as well. Like, I just wonder if that's what he should be doing and pedigreeing to look at. But I think he's never been sound enough to. Yeah, that's. But I think we have to try and keep him sound before we even think about that. But
I think that would be your best bet. Yeah. Keep everything smooth, but for temps would qualify or something like that would really suit him. You'd love to jump a fence on him, but obviously you'll have to.
Yeah, if we get a full season with him next year, we'll go chasing and see from there. But now we just might as well stick to what he knows and don't need to add any extra complications in.
Well,
perfect.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck today, Lorcan. Go on. It's been hard work. It has been hard work, but as I say, I'm privileged to have horses of the ability to win the races they have. Always having to think about the next day with the horses, and actually you get brought down to earth very quickly, having had a good day. But to even have the good days in the first place, I know we're fortunate to have them, and being able to do it alongside Fliss, we both of our passions. So, I mean, we've got our baby Ada, she's just had her first birthday, and being able to be around her and like a lot in things, and she comes out and does afternoon stables. Well, she doesn't contribute anything at the moment, which has been disappointing, but she does come out, and no, it's nice, and it's a lovely way of life. I'll do a couple of rockets. 3, 2, 1. Rocket! Rocket! Rocket!
You're getting a bit heavy for that, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, so we met, blimey, in 2015, long time ago now. Yeah, Fliss worked at the yard. Yes, it was like very quickly we ended up together, I think, and from there, and yeah, it's been a long road to get here. It's surprising. It's when you think, blimey, it's 11 years ago, and then in 2024 we got married. Yes, so that's a year and a half ago now, and all is going well. We're not divorced yet, so that's a plus side. I think one of the, Fliss loves racing, I love the racing, and actually that's always been, having a common interest is such a nice thing to be able to. And with racing, it's so it's also so all-encompassing. So actually, you need to be with someone that is equally as interested. It's not something that is difficult if you're a trainer or involved in racing. If you've got a partner who isn't at all, doesn't understand it or isn't involved, it seems a sort of a mad sport. So
yeah, obviously the first few years where Chester you went and worked for Kim Bailey for a while, didn't you? And you were travelling around a lot, and you're actually sort of finishing your university degree, so we actually sort of didn't spend a huge amount of time together. That's probably why we've been together for so long. That we both had other commitments and things, and so we understood that. So I understood what it meant to be a jockey and the commitment that needed. So that's why it's worked, I think.
And Fliss, how would you describe him? What's he like?
Difficult, but passionate and very hardworking, very dedicated, intelligent, and very kind.
Yeah, well, Fliss thankfully is a lot less difficult than I am, which again just about works out. Fliss is just an amazingly kind person and thoughtful. She's dedicated and hardworking, and it's a real pleasure to do this. The training alongside her has been a massive plus. We'll go for it now, otherwise we're waiting for ages. So Jen, you're 6, 4 and 4. After my injury, I didn't ride for a year and a half, and that's actually, I missed the riding at home more than I miss being a jockey occasionally when it's a nice run on soft ground. In a 3-mile hurdle, I do miss it, but and they win. But that's what I miss more, being the riding at home and being involved in the development of young horses and seeing them progress. And you've had these, we've had these horses. You might have had the horse for a year or 2 years, and suddenly you do a piece and they're getting ready to run. And you start doing pieces of work with them, and the feeling of, blimey, this can go a bit. That's like a really fulfilling, really nice emotion. Like, plenty of time they disappoint you and think, oh, blimey, this one, this is going to need some help. So in September 22, I had a full schooling horse. It was sort of just before the season started. It was actually off the back of my best season I'd had as a jockey. It was all just starting. It took me a long time to get going as a jockey, but it was all just starting to come together, and I definitely improved and had 25 winners the season before, and I had a full schooling, and I ended up being airlifted to hospital. I was knocked unconscious, and I ended up having a bleed on the brain. I was in intensive care. Overall, I was in hospital for 6 weeks, which I can only sort of fleetingly remember little bits of it, but nothing substantial. And that sort of put an end to my riding career, unfortunately. Now I wanted to try again, but I was advised by doctors and things that it was just my brain wasn't capable of taking another hit, and I'd already had a number of concussions before my major one. So no, it was just not a possibility.
Yeah, it was terrifying because we weren't sure initially how bad Chester's injury was, and we didn't know how it was. Yeah, it was just terrifying. When Chester had his accident, I was heavily pregnant. I was 36 weeks pregnant at the time, and I suppose everyone sort of held on to the fact that there was this baby coming, and that was sort of the light at the end of the tunnel at the time, because we weren't sure, you know, how long it was going to take for Chester to, and if he was ever going to be 100% again. So it was a very sort of unknown, worrying time, and I was, you know, by his side the whole time, because I had this fear that I didn't want him to be alone when he woke up, and I was sort of quite obsessed of sort of being with him all the time. I sat beside him for hours and day after day, but the doctors kept telling me that he wouldn't just wake up like that. It would take a long time, and he would slowly start coming back, which he did. And then on the 11th of October, 2 days after the due date, unfortunately I had a placental abruption, which caused Archie to be stillborn. Which was just devastating. And Chester wasn't really able to be there or understand what was going on. But I had all of my family and Chester's family. And he was perfect, and it's just so, I still struggle to come to terms, and we think of him every day, and he's still part of our family and part of why we sort of strive to live as we do. And we don't want to tell our story because we want people to feel sorry for us, or because so many people go through this, and awareness is key, and to try and break some of that stigma and the uncomfortableness around it, because at the end of the day he was our baby, and we just want people to remember him, and we don't want it to be sad and painful. We want people to think of him and smile and
say his name.
And say his name, yeah. And I think that's all any bereaved parent wants is,
for their baby to not be forgotten.
And I think, for their baby not to be forgotten, and we just want, there to be awareness that a lot of families go through this, and there needs to be, more awareness, more research, and to hope that less and less people have to go through this, because it is the worst thing in the world.
Well, my everyone's grief journey is different, I suppose, and mine was, I suppose, the best way I could describe it is just very delayed. I think so my accident happened in September, and Archie was born in October, but I don't think I wasn't ever able to process. I wasn't really able to process it and understand what had happened. I don't think my brain allowed itself to. It was too difficult for it to. So I think it was probably by about the next April that I started to really understand what had happened. And even now, I'm still coming to terms with the loss of Archie. And so just over a year ago, our little girl Ada was born, and even now, as any bereaved parent, I'm now understanding how much I've lost, every day not having him here. But it has taken a long time, and the situation is very different in normal circumstances for the mother and the father, and the mother has been with the baby for 8 or 9 months, and obviously the father hasn't. But it's difficult. It's still difficult to come to terms with, and I'm still learning and still understanding about everything about this whole process. And I don't think that, and that never disappears. I don't think that ever will disappear. And Archie will always be part of my life and part of us, and we will continue to miss him every day. Yeah, well, it was probably a bit foolhardy. I'll blame the brain injury, because I think trying to do the London Marathon whilst having your first season training horses was, I might have bitten off a bit more than I can chew. And every day it tips down with the rain, I'll think, I'm really not desperate to go out for a run today. I'll put it off tomorrow, but it's actually 3 months away now. I saw on Twitter it came up 3 months until the London Marathon the other day, but it just did put the fear in me slightly. I am running for Sands as well. Obviously they're a big supporter, so that's stillbirth and neonatal death. That's what Sands stands for. And as I said, it's been difficult. I wasn't there when Archie was born, and it's been difficult for me and Fliss to connect over the situation, but also for me to connect with Archie, because I wasn't there. I never held Archie. I wanted to raise awareness, but I'm doing it selfishly, I suppose, in a way, because I want to use this to raise awareness, to connect, and also to connect with Archie. And when I'm out running, I often don't listen to some boring history podcast, and actually I just spend time with my thoughts, and actually it's helping me sort of gain a closeness with him that I've not had before. And I'd like her to think that he'd be proud of me, and Ada will be one day too.
We welcomed Ada on the 21st of January last year, so she's just turned 1. Obviously being pregnant again was terrifying. I held my breath for 9 months, but yeah, she's been an absolute joy, an absolute ray of sunshine and hope. And yeah, she is the smiliest baby. Everyone that meets her always says how smiley she is, but we say it's because she's got extra smiles, because she's got her brother's smiles as well. Yeah, we just feel very lucky to have her. Yeah, we're blessed to have her, and I think anyone with any child, you're blessed to. We just feel so lucky that we have been able to welcome her into the world, and every day as she grins at us and does funny things, then yeah, we feel lucky. But she is currently quite big, so the riding career isn't looking, but all of that can change very much. So we'll see. It's inevitable, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll like ponies. What little girls don't? I'm hoping that she's going to get into tennis or golf or anything else.
That's the sport.
Yeah. This yard, all the horses and my parents, they've always pretty much come from France as younger horses, to try and get the process started a bit earlier. So in Dania in front, she was bought in the summer as a 2-year-old, so she was bought a year ahead of, and then she was broken in and just tried to make the whole, but by the time she's actually won a race, she's been here for 2.5 years. So it's a long process, and you have to have a bit of patience with it. But if you want to get those good horses, we can't afford to go to the Cheltenham boutique sales or the Irish buy pointers for 6-figure sums. So if you want the quality, you have to try to buy them a bit younger, and you're hoping that they will progress into the horse that you want. But yeah, it's a long process, and patience is crucial. You can pull up at the bottom, okay? All okay, Jenny?
Yeah.
Were you happy with her?
Left-handed.
Sorry?
Better left-handed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All okay, Fifth? How is he? Did he have a breath? Did he hang?
He hangs really well.
Oh. Which way?
I don't really know. It's on the
Okay. How is he, Vicky?
yeah, doing very well.
Good.
Happy.
You be ready for a donut in a minute? Yeah, Fliss, we'll just get some dance room into her when she gets back, shall we? Yeah, I've always been obsessed with racing. I've loved it from like a very young age, and I went to the Gold Cup watching best mate win his 3rd Gold Cup in 2004. So I was only 6 then, and to me that was the best day of my life at the time. So I've always been fairly obsessed. The whole sport is fascinating. There are so many factors that go behind it, but training, there's so many different things that are involved, and just trying to solve the puzzle the whole time as to what each horse needs to thrive and what it needs to do to get its head in front. And yeah, that's a fascinating sort of project. And you know, you always spend time thinking about what tiny little things, and after a disappointing one, you spend time thinking, why was that disappointing, and what can you change to make it better next time? I'm not straying far from sort of the principles that my parents trained here from, and my mum still does, but I'm just trying new things as well. As I'd like to know, that's why I wanted to train by myself, is actually have the opportunity to try new things, and actually the buck stops with you. You know, you live or die on your own decisions, and that's sort of fascinating. But yeah, I don't have an overarching principle as such. Winners are that's what we all want, and you just want to think everyone knows that actually the maximum is being got out of the horse. You can't change the horse's innate ability, but you can maximise it, and actually that's all I ever want to be known as, thought of as somebody who can maximise the horse's potential and get everything that you want, that you can get out of them to win races.
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of Chester. I mean, I think his biggest sort of strength, especially through his recovery, was that he was always very sort of accepting of what had happened to him. So he was never sort of bitter or sort of too down about the fact that he wasn't able to be a jockey again, and sort of was always looking to the positive, and that sort of pushed him sort of through, and sort of his wanting to be able to be there for me again sort of pushed him to do well in his recovery, and I'm just unbelievably proud of where you are now and what you're doing. And
yeah, equally I'm very proud of Fliss. I mean, it's to keep going every day after the loss of Archie, and it's so hard for people to do that, and no, I wouldn't be able to do. Wouldn't have been able to get as far as we have done for that, and my recovery has been a lot better, because when I was in hospital, Fliss was by my side every day, making sure that I was fed and everything, and doing as much as she could, and so a lot of my recovery comes down to how well she's looked after me, and when I was back home and out of hospital. So no, it's been so far and obviously the training, we seem to complement each other's skills quite well. We have different strengths and different weaknesses. Well, I have the weaknesses, but we, although we do clash quite a lot, we try and stick on our own lane and do our thing, and overall it seems to be, so far it's working well, but it's been a very small sample size, so we'll know a lot more in 2 years' time how well it is working, but yeah, so far so good.
Ready, go. Woohoo!
So,
This way.
Yeah, give her a target.
Wow, that's
she'll
sun.
like the hair.
Whee! Look at you go! Boo!
It's nice, sort of next season we're currently looking into building more stables, hopefully going to have 20 horses in training next year from 10 this year, so that's a big plus in the first places, and I don't have any long-term ambitions for the training. I just want to train quality horses and have graded horses, and if anything, as long as you can build on the season before and maximise each horse to fulfil its potential, that's all you can do. And we're learning all the time, and even in the last, since they've been running, every time they run you learn something new. And I think if you have open eyes and you're always willing to look back at what you do, and that gives you the best chance of success.
No, I suppose my ambitions are your ambitions, and I'm just sort of here to support you. Yeah.
You're a facilitator. you're like a Michael. You're the Michael Carrick.
Yeah, that's exactly who I am. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the person behind the scenes pulling the strings is fair to say.
Yeah, you just take all the glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly.